Well, I suppose for me, I was a young boy born in South Africa, and my parents came to the UK and always members of church family. But it wasn't really, I guess, until we were involved with navigators work and the university type work in the UK that one made it a personal profession of faith, and then went to a large student church in Sheffield, and then from there worked in London. And while I was in London, got the call to ministry and trained at St John's College, Nottingham. Going there thinking I'm just going to train for ministry. I'm not going to have anything to do with young ladies, but God had other ideas. And the lady sat on my right, was on the corridor, a C corridor warden. And it wasn't very long before I realised, oh dear, I think I'm quite attracted to her. And well, she might want to fill in a bit there from there.
He developed a sudden interest in coming and taking over from me as sacristan in the chapel, and I, all unawares, just thought this was a nice encouraging student who was going to come and help out, and I didn't realize he had other ulterior motives. So it went on from there, and we got married in our last year at St John's, Nottingham, and so that was, we had a short time. We wanted to do that before we went into the first parish, so that we were sort of settled in that. And yeah. And in due course, we had 3 youngsters who are now all grown up, 2 of whom are married. Yeah. And they're all still back in England because they've got settled there.
And I guess if I had to share a brief significant part of the journey that she and I both helped on, the world has suffered from the COVID pandemic, and it was an absolute privilege to be in Manchester during that pandemic and to be part of a team that leafleted about 30,000 people where they could get help in COVID. And therefore we, for the best part of a year, we were distributing everything from Easter eggs to meals to food parcels. And what was so touching was to receive a community award towards the end of that, which I could not have achieved without the team and without Sheila.
I was brought up in Crusaders, in Christian youth movement in England, and it's now called Urban Saints. And that was my early journey, and it was lovely in Manchester to try to start a new group with completely unchurched young people.
Philip and the eunuch in Acts have always been a passage that spoke to me. And on a couple of occasions, I used to like litter picking. And this guy noticed that I was litter picking regularly. And he came up to me one day and said, I've noticed you litter picking. I do the same. I've never been baptized. Can I be baptized? It's probably too late. I said, absolutely not. So to cut a long story short, he came to the rectory and we did some baptism preparation. And the utter joy of baptizing him on Easter Sunday last year. So to actually, in a sense, to act out Philip and the eunuch in a very real way, and to say to a guy at the end of it, what's stopping you being baptized, was quite telling. I remember going back and telling Sheila I'd had this conversation, and yeah, I'm here to do some cafe work in the Tin Goose, which is what we've been starting before, kind of meeting the community, which we do on a Wednesday morning. So that's where we're both going when this is concluded.